What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an episode of the Checked In Podcast. Do me a favor before we begin. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell because it'll let you guys know every time we upload. But with that being said, let's get right into the episode. So today, I have a very special guest. We have Mario here. And so today we're going to be talking about a little bit of his profession and a little bit of how he got into that profession. And because I'm really interested, to be honest with you, ever since the movie, right? It caught my attention. I never had the opportunity to ever speak to anyone that has done that. Most of my friends, I guess you could say, that have done it are just, I don't want to say basic firefighters, but you know, they just firefighters. So can you go ahead and explain to everyone a little bit of how you got into the profession? And was it your first like ideal profession that you wanted to go into? Like, did you grow up and say, hey, I want to do this? Or did it just land into your lap kind of?
It actually did just kind of land into my lap. Like, it's not something that I said, oh, I want to be a firefighter. Like, my plans were a little bit different. But yeah, an opportunity showed up where someone saw, I guess, some type of potential in me. And they were like, hey, fill out this application. It's a program. And I was like, nah, that's not for me. And it's funny because he actually told me something along the lines like, look, man, it's 100 and something applicants that can apply, and only 20 something or 30 something get in. So they might not even pull yours. And I was like,
so you're like, all right, why not?
I was like, you know what? So I can get this dude off my back. I filled it out, turned it in, and yeah, they called me. They gave me a call, and I mean, that was the best thing that I could have going for me at the moment. So it was kind of like, you know, it would have been stupid for me not to take that opportunity, that type of opportunity.
Right. Because I mean, I'm sure when someone comes up to you and says, hey, I need you to fill out this form that says wildlife firefighting, like, you're just kind of like, why would I be interested in that?
And I wasn't even too familiar with what came with like that type of job, you know? I kind of went into it blind. So I was like there's a saying, like, you fake it till you make it. I faked the fuck out of it. I faked it. Like people would be talking amongst each other, like you know, words and lingo that I was just kind of like, okay. But I just, you know, so most of the time, like, I'll be the dude that's like, oh, who wants to go first? Me.
Yeah.
But, you know, for things that I'm not too familiar with, is like, you know, with age you learn, like, who's the first one to jump in the water? Well, it's the ocean.
Yeah.
Where are the sharks at, you know?
Yeah. And the thing that I learned, too, about that, it's funny that you say that because since I'm very into, like, the automotive field, the one thing that cracks me up is that I always tell all the mechanics that know everything and the people that we look up to, and we're just like, yo, like, how did you know this? Or what in your head was like, oh, yeah, like, I already know this just by the noise or even you describing it. It's because it's like, I fucked up enough for you not to. So now I have the knowledge so you don't have to. So in your aspect, it's like you're jumping into it. You're like, I may not know it, but at some point I have to. So this is the best way to learn it. Yeah. And that's a good mindset to have, too. So that's always nice. Yeah, that's always good to have. But so for those of the people that don't know, you were incarcerated, and that's how you became a part of this.
Yeah, that's part of it. I was incarcerated, and I was what you call institutional firefighter. So
that's how you started.
Right, that's how I started. It was just like the same thing there too. Like an opportunity came, and they got me into a firehouse, and it was like that too. It was like a no-brainer. Like, I was only gonna be housed with like 6-7 other inmates tops, and they were all legit, you know. So
this would be a separate thing from the actual.
Oh yeah, no, we were separated.
That's cool.
From the whole like prison, like that little bit of time that I did in the firehouse was just like, it was super chill. Like, I didn't, like, I really didn't feel like if I was in prison. Like, I didn't have correctional officers running in.
Right, breathing down your bag and all that shit.
Searching us or harassing us. None of that.
So you guys were held up to a little bit of a higher standard in a way, just because they knew what you were doing.
The ones who were watching over us were our fire captains.
Okay.
So they only had the correctional officer title behind them because they had to be in a prison like that, but or to deal with inmates, but they were fire captains. Like they were firefighters.
Outside.
They went through the whole academy of being a firefighter to be able to be our captains.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was like
Yeah.
that's dope.
No, yeah, because like I said, we were institutional firefighters, so I wasn't doing none of the wildland stuff. I wasn't like going to mountains when fires broke out, like this one in LA.
Oh yeah, the Palisades.
Palisade, yeah.
Yeah.
So like we weren't seeing stuff like that. We were just dealing with like injuries or overdoses or stabbings or people who got beat up in
Inside
prison.
of the prison. Okay.
Yeah, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Now, let me ask you this. Now, from when you were in there and you got to, I guess, see all of that kind of stuff, the injuries, the overdoses and stuff like that, I'm assuming you had little courses that they would teach you guys in there for that. Or was it more...
We learned because, I mean, like our fire captains, like they figured like it's something good for us to know anyways. But we never... Because at the end of the day, we're still just inmates.
Correct.
So they're not going to let us be performing CPR, you know, or putting an EAD on someone to try to bring them back, you know.
So it's kind of like you're an assistant to them in a way.
Yeah, we're basically just doing the heavy labor, you know.
Okay.
We're freaking...
So when you were in there, that's pretty much what you guys were doing. Just the heavy labor, helping out where you could.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's pretty cool, though.
Right.
Now, the transition from going in there and coming out and doing the profession that you're doing now, was there like a lot of certificates and stuff like that you had to get inside? Or did that kind of happen after?
So, no. So that was actually a thing that we were... Well, not me, but like my other coworkers will say in there. They were discussing like stuff like, man, well, why can't we get certified like for certain things? And yeah, no, we couldn't get certified there. So when I finally came out, and I applied before I got out. So I applied, and then when I got out, I followed through, and then I kind of went through a little process of it. And then when I finally got accepted into the academy or the program, which is called VTC.
Was it hard to get accepted into it, or was it more paperwork, or was there like meetings that you had to attend to? Or
I mean, you basically have to. So this is what they say, right? And I mean, I hope they don't, crucify me for it. But they say, at least they told us that that every academy, every cohort is what they call it. Everyone who got accepted into the academy, they were the best of whatever camp, wherever they were at when they filled that application. They were the best amongst all of them.
Okay.
And they had multiple fire captains or correctional officers put in a good word or vouch for you.
Okay, that's good.
So that's how I got in. I had my 3 fire captains right.
So in other words, they're standing behind you and saying, "Hey, look, we stand behind these guys because we've seen their work ethic, we've seen what they did out here, and we can say that they're good enough for the program."
Yeah, because you know what? Like, as a matter of fact, I remember this. I remember the captains used to tell the other dudes, like, here's an application. Don't talk to me about nothing until you fill it out.
Okay.
And these dudes would never fill it out. And me, they would, like, they literally, one of my captains literally told me, I filled out everything that I could for you. Fill out the rest and sign. That's all you have to do. We'll take care of the rest. So they, like, they did it all for me.
That's good.
Yeah. No, yeah. I
That's
got
good.
lucky.
So that you had them looking out for you in a really good way.
Yeah. No, yeah. They looked out tough for me, for sure.
So now that you once you went into the program, what were like some of the first steps that you had to like adjust? Obviously, for starters, adjusting to being outside, I'm sure was a big one, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So adjusting outside. For those that don't know, how many years did you do inside?
I did 15 years and I want to say 9 months.
15 years and 9 months, which is a long time to from going from inside to coming out to adjusting to everything that's changed. And then now that you have to deal with other individuals that obviously come from a different lifestyle now, was it hard to adjust once you got in?
It, like, I can say it was only because I had a strong support system.
Okay.
Like my family, they've always been there for me. You know, I have, you know, luckily, thank God, I still got both of my parents. They're older. I got 3 brothers, and they've always been supportive of me. You know, and I'm the youngest of 4, so like, you know, I'm the baby brother and shit.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, but no, so that part, on that part, I think that helped somewhat. But nah, it was hard, like how to fill out an application online, like, you know, like I'm used to going to a place and saying, hey, you guys hiring? Give me an application. Like, oh, go online. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll be honest with you. Once the transition started going to that, I hated it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, how am I supposed to show you that I actually want it? Because I'm here for starters.
Yeah.
I'm making for an application. I want you to see me as
exactly.
a person. Online, it's kind of annoying because you get to be like, okay, there's just a name and information. How can I know?
No characteristics whatsoever.
Nothing whatsoever. So coming from the inside to coming out and dealing with all that, how long was the course, would you say, that it took you to kind of get it? Because I'm assuming they didn't just throw you in there. They just kind of like...
So when I got out, because I did so much time, and so I actually got sentenced to 23 years. So I was supposed to do 23 years. A little bit more than that, but like laws changed, you know, over the time. So I qualified as a youth offender. And what that is basically like, I think it was SB, I can't even remember no more. And it's a trip because I try to leave all that in the past, and it's like, you know.
There was a law that benefited, in other words.
Oh yeah, a law that I benefited to where I think like once I hit my 15-year mark, I want to say once I hit my 15-year, if I was under the age if I was 19 or younger, I qualified for that law.
Okay.
So basically, like, it don't matter what type of sentence I was given. Once I hit my 15-year mark, I have a board hearing. Okay. So a parole board hearing.
Yeah, because most people wouldn't get them. I heard that it's kind of difficult once you're doing that long time.
No, most of the time you don't get them. Okay. But like, yeah, so I got that, and so I got lucky where, you know, I was able to kind of stay out of trouble, and it just, time was just flying. And I remember, I think my board date was supposed to be like 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, yeah, I think 2021. But because COVID hit, they stopped boards. They stopped board hearings. Okay. And then after, like, they kind of figured it out, and I can be wrong, but this is how I remember it. Like, so COVID hit, the world came to a stop, right? Like, that's so.
Remember that? Yeah.
Nobody's fucking going nowhere. And for me, it was kind of comical because I was like, look at all these fucking people. Like, because they gotta fucking isolate themselves. I've been fucking isolated for so long. Like,
you're like, what's up now? What's up?
Yeah, like, fuck yeah, take that, you know? Fucking welcome to my world.
Yeah, like, you're like, shit, you only gotta do a couple of days.
Yeah, so it was kind of comical for me. And I'm like, toilet paper? Like, what the fuck's so special about toilet paper?
Don't bring back the trauma. Don't bring back the trauma.
I didn't go through it. And I didn't have to pay for it.
Shit, I seen people fucking fighting for that shit. They were fucking throwing those.
Yeah, well, I would see all that shit in the news, you know?
Bro was out here that wrote the toilet paper king inside. He's like, damn, that's crazy. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Fuck, I had a squirrel.
No, you're good. You're good. But I know you. So in other words, you were saying that everything got pushed back.
Everything got pushed back. So yeah. So exactly, just what you said exactly. So COVID hit. Everything came to a stop. That means that a bunch of people that had board hearing dates during that time, their dates got pushed back. So everyone's date got pushed back because obviously
they had to adjust.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like, so like, and me, to be honest, and it's crazy because that's just part of being like institutionalized or like being like living that lifestyle or whatever, that you don't even really care. Like I remember I wasn't sweating it, like, because at the end of the day I was thinking to myself like, I'm not even ready to go to board, because if I go to board, I'm gonna say the wrong shit, or I'm gonna still like have like things or reasons for them to like deny me. So I wasn't really sweating it, but when my time came, I benefited, and I got a early release, and yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what is you can give me maybe like one or two if you want, but what are some of the questions that they ask you exactly when you get to that point? Because obviously, like you said, you might say it's the wrong thing, but what in like what is just two that you might be like, oh, this is some things that they ask? Because a lot of people out there, they don't know.
Right.
You in the world that you come from, that's like it's a common thing where you guys dealt with it. You're like, oh fuck, here we go, you know? Because
Yeah.
you're trying to say the right things, I'm assuming, so they can see it and be like, okay, he looks like he's ready to go back out and all this other stuff. But what would you say are like maybe just two that questions that they might have asked you where you were kind of like, oh, this is some of them, if you can remember.
Well, one of the main ones that I can think of is like, why did you do it? You know? Because like they want to know why did you do it? Because like I learned somewhere in like, because I took a lot of like self-help classes in there, because it's part of it, you know?
Right.
Like,
It's technically the rehabilitation portion of it.
yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't doing it because I was like fucking, oh, I want to change. Like I wasn't. If I'm gonna be real, I wasn't.
Right.
I was what you call fucking chrono chaser. I was chasing the chronos, like the certificates. You know, I would go attend, and you know, but I would go and attend to so many that eventually shit started to stick. You know, to where I was learning shit. Like I would hear something and be like, oh shit.
Gave
Like,
you a whole new look on it.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like they would ask like, why did you do it? Whatever it was that you did, you know. And because they want to hear the truth, you know. So like,
So that's one of them. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
why did you do it? And like they kind of just let you go. Like they just let you talk, and they're hoping that you're kind of digging your own fucking grave, you know.
I see.
They're like, you know, and that's basically how it is. Because the only thing that they do is just throw all your dirt at you. Well, in this year you did this. Well, in this year you did that. You don't know about it, but on this year this guy said you did this. On this year this guy said you did that. And you're kind of like, oh shit.
Okay.
You know? And you just have to answer to the best of your ability. But the main thing is that they just want you to acknowledge that you know what you did was wrong, and you take responsibility, and that you are somewhat of a different person than from who you were back then.
So they want to see, in a sense, a little bit of some rehabilitation of saying, okay, I acknowledge my past. I acknowledge that I have to move forward from it, but I can't run from it. But I'm just letting you know this is what the details are.
Pretty
Okay.
much. And I
That's
mean,
cool.
obviously, if you could like do something that shows that you're giving back to society, because I mean, shit, like, you know, like how they say, how we were taught, like, you know, we took a lot from society, you know, like, and it's a trip, because I'm like, man, I didn't take shit from them, but I mean, you know, yeah, you took their piece, you know, like it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so let me bring us back to how you got, now that you're at, I would say your new job, right? Your new job. Once you go through those steps, did you kind of have to do an academy of sorts of,
Yeah.
like how most firefighters do?
So when I got out, I was here. I was in downtown LA, like fresh out, you know. I couldn't, like, they didn't release me. I didn't get released, and I was able to go back to my city or my family. Like, I think because of the law that I qualified for, they threw me under some type of category where I went to a transitional house that was like specialized in like catering to people who had life sentences. So I I already said how much time I did. I was there with people who did like 25, 30, 35. There's some dude there that did like 42 years. One did 47 years. You know, like that shit really humbled me where I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
you know? Like I was with the majority of the people there, they were all older dudes. They were all older dudes and so anyway, so yeah, so I paroled to that transitional house. It's right here. It's on Beacon Street, and so I already knew that I had applied, and then I wasn't sure that they were gonna call me or whatever, but I was still very fresh out, so I still had like a routine, a program, you know, and so like I would wake up. I was just telling her like we're driving down these streets, and I was like, damn, and I told her because I just looked around and I was like, man, you know what? This is a completely different place at 4, 5 in the morning. Because I used to wake up that early and just start running. I would go for runs because they would give me like
Like incentives, kind of, to
Like-
go do some stuff to be active.
yeah, like if I'm like, yeah, like basically because you had to write where you're going and what time you're leaving and what time you're coming back. So like me, because they already saw my program, I didn't have to tell them nothing. They'll see me stretching in the front yard and then boom, I'm gone.
Oh, they're like, all right, he's going on his run.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I wouldn't have to tell nobody nothing. I'll just take off, and I'll take off, and I would be running all these. I used to run around the Staples Center,
Okay.
the crypto.
Yeah, crypto.
Yeah.
No, it's still Staples Center to me, dude. It's still
Yeah.
Kobe's house. I don't care what anybody says. You feel
Yeah,
me? So,
I used to run around the crypto center. Freaking, I think when they built some new bridge here, I'm not sure which
the
one.
6th Street Bridge.
6th Street Bridge.
Yep, mhm.
I ran from the Beacon all the way to the 6th Street Bridge, and I didn't know how far it was. But some dude who was getting ready for a marathon, who was there, he saw that I was running, and he was like, "Hey, you want to run with me tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." He's all right, and we fucking ran all the way to the bridge, and I was just like, "Damn, we still got to run back, dude."
Yeah.
Like, it was cool. But yeah, so I was kind of preparing myself there for the academy because I knew that you had to be somewhat physically fit to be a wildland firefighter, you know? So, but yeah, when the call came, well, actually, I contacted a few people and they were able to give me a number to a life coach in the academy and I was at. His name is Jose. So I hit him up, and we just chopped it up over the phone. And you know, I didn't beat around the bush. I told him, you know, what it was that I really wanted to be in the academy, and he told me, he said that they actually voted against me, but he said that he'll vouch for me. I don't know why. He said that I don't know.
Damn, that's crazy to hear, too, though.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing he told me when we got there. When I actually met him, that's the first thing he told me. He said, "Hey, man, I vouched for you, man. They said no because of some write-ups that I had got like in December of like 2021, I believe. So they were still fresh, you know, and it was because I had a supervisor who was a fucking asshole.
I feel it.
And he was just like bipolar and yeah, so anyways, so like that, obviously, like you're arguing with a supervisor, you know, it don't look right. It's not a good look.
Right.
But nah, they took a shot on me and yeah, and I went to the academy and it was like the physical part, like hiking, running. I was already running and all that. So all that was, it was like it. I'm not gonna say it was easy. It wasn't. It was hard.
So hiking is a key component to what you guys
Oh,
do.
super. Yeah.
Okay.
You and you're not hiking, just hiking. Like that's what I tell my girl when we go, like we've gone on a few hikes. I'm like, but I mean her hikes ain't easy either, but
I still put them through the ringer. It's all good.
no, yeah, but I just tell her like the hikes that we do, like the hikes that you guys are used to, like it's a trail and it's like a lot of flat, and yeah, you'll see one steep hill where you can, you know, challenge yourself, but nah, us it's like we go like off-roading. Like sometimes there is no trail and it's you know we
You're
just
making your own essentially.
and we're just going. You know, we're
Yeah.
going like
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah, like we're going one route, steep ass hill, and you can't see what's right above that little hump. And once you get to that hump, it's like a fall straight down, and it's like fuck. Oh, we got to go up that one now, and it's like yeah. Like we'll take routes sometimes where we were able to get up that route, but you just there's no way you're gonna get down the same route.
Yeah.
You know, so it's yeah.
So when you guys were doing all of the hiking and everything like that, do you guys have like heavy gear that you guys have to go through
yeah,
with too?
no, for sure. To pass the physical test that they make us do, they weigh our packs, and our packs have to weigh 45 pounds
At a minimum.
at a minimum.
Okay, but sometimes they can exceed that.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
45 pounds is what everything weighs that you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a necessity. Some people add, you know, shit they want. You know, you gotta throw your lunch in there too. Your lunch weighs like 5 pounds.
Damn.
So that just bumps it up to 50.
Damn, that's right. You guys don't got Uber out there.
Man, telling me. And sometimes sometimes you're assigned to carry the medical pack. That's like another 10 pounds. Or you're assigned to carry the AED. That's another.
What is that?
It's like a to like what you call it? I'm having a brain fart right now.
No, it happens. Is it to help when there's like big fires around? Is it kind of like
No,
a
it's
fire
to bring you
retardant?
back to life. Like
Oh shit, one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, literally the
Clear.
whole electric clear.
Boom, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you said clear, I was like, I got it. I know exactly.
Yeah.
What everyone's gonna know now.
Yeah, no. So you have to carry that. That's like another 10, maybe 12 pounds. You know.
And people might hear that and be like, it's just 10, 12 pounds. Nah, but when you're doing a long ass hike and you're going up, down, everywhere, like no actual hiking trail, that's a bitch to do.
No, yeah. So and then we have what we call it a piss pump. So it's like another backpack that weighs like fuck. I can't. You know what? I'll probably get in trouble if anybody hears this because I can't remember how much does it weigh. I'm supposed to know how much does it weigh or how much water can it carry. I'm just a little rusty right now, but if you're carrying your pack, which you have to carry your pack, there's no reason why you shouldn't have your pack on unless you have to do like a shelter deployment. Then you ditch your pack, but so you're gonna have your pack. But if you have to carry the piss pump which more than likely 4 people out of the crew will have a piss pump, that will bump up the weight on your back to easily like 75 or 80 pounds. So you're hiking with 80 pounds on your back. Like,
For those of you that don't understand, that's like carrying a middle schooler on your back, essentially.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? On top of everything else you already have. So that's imagine carrying a kid around through the amusement park all day. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. All right.
No,
okay,
for real. Like, yeah, and it sucks because it's like I don't. Sometimes I trip out. Like I've been on fires that I just like when our 24-hour shift is over. I'm like, how did we just pull through that? It's crazy.
Let me ask you about that now. Now that you brought that up, what do you remember about your first one that you can say was kind of like, oh shit, that was kind of a big one that we kind of dealt with? Have you ever dealt with one of those, or was it more like in the middle kind of? Because obviously the Palisades one was out of control. That one was crazy.
Yeah, the one here in LA.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No,
I just want to make sure. So
no, yeah, I was already laid off because I'm what you call a seasonal firefighter. So when the fire season is on, boom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we go back and we work. So I was already off. I had just recently got laid off. But man, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, because that is like I was watching that movie that you were just talking about, Only the Brave.
Yep.
I was just watching it yesterday. And I was like getting goosebumps, and I was like, man, I missed that right there. Like, you know, it's so. But I think maybe like the park fire was a big one that we went to. We had one that was called the Maria fire. Another one that was the French fire. I can't remember if it was the Maria fire. I want to say it was the Maria fire. The Maria fire kicked our ass. I want to say that
You be doing that to him like that? No, I'm just playing.
the Maria fire, I want to say that in the site that I was at, I want to say that 11 firefighters had to get airlifted out.
Damn.
Yeah, so
What was it because it was
whatever reason it was
whatever?
whether health like I remember we were hiking, like I said, you have to, or earlier we had a discussion about like sometimes there's a fire so up in a mountain that there's no roads, so ain't no vehicle gonna get up there. So it's up to us to hike to that fire, and like the hike to get to our job site is not considered us working. Like, no, like, you know, and they'll tell you that. The captains, they'll tell you that. You know, like, you guys are already tired. You're not even working yet. We're just walking to the job site.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't gonna take no break up there. And you know, it's you see why they do it. It's because like, you know, I think people nowadays with the fire that just happened recently have now somewhat of a clue of how bad a fire can really be.
Yeah, because it went from land to water pretty much.
Yeah, man. No, it's because that wind, man. The wind is like the worst thing that you could add to a fire, you know? Yeah, so that's why it's like that, you know? It's like we don't, you know, like, do you want to, I mean, that's how I look at it now. It's like, I'd much rather work my ass off and try to help save property or land or life, you know, agriculture, whatever, than to fucking take a break, you know? Like, so that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I don't think they really truly understand your profession in a way where, like, even when you say like, oh, we're hiking, but we're not even working yet. Like, a lot of people, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people are soft nowadays. All right, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people are soft. So just putting that into their mind, like, they would probably, oh, nah, fuck that. Like, why would I do that? You know, it's how can I explain? It's kind of like I don't want to say like an addiction, but it's an adrenaline rush.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And it adds to the reason as to why you like the profession. Obviously, I'm sure it's not a profession you can do to your forever.
No,
obviously,
yeah, no,
because
for sure
it's
not.
heavy and hectic. But, but I was gonna ask you was, remember, so off camera he was letting me know a story. So you were telling me how you guys fight fire with fire.
Right.
Most people would say that's just like a figure of speech, a phrase or whatever. But you guys literally fight fire with fire.
No, yeah.
So can you give me a little like a backstory for them, since they didn't hear the story, but can you explain it to them?
So like
fast?
when I say we fight fire with fire, it's literally what we do. When the opportunity and the time and the weather is right, you know? And if we got wind in our favor, even better. Like, but let's say there's a fire on the top of the hill and it's starting to burn down, and we're in the bottom, and we build a line.
For those that don't know what a line is, how could you describe the line? Is it something that you guys carve out, or is it
right? Okay, yeah. Okay. So we have hand tools, and we scrape the top of whatever fuel or like grass, bushes, or whatever. We have chainsaws and hand tools, and we'll literally build we'll shave it down to the bare minimum soil, so there's nothing that can burn. And we'll do like something that's like 4 feet wide to 6 feet wide, depending the trees, how big they are, and if they're kind of like leaning on each other, touching that way. We'll clear all the vegetation and we'll just make a long line, like basically to stop the fire
from jumping over.
Okay. So we're basically cutting off the path of the fire with the line, a fire line.
All right.
And so once we have a secure fire line, a strong one, we'll start a fire on the side of where it's gonna burn anyways. So the fire that we start only has one way to run, and that's towards the fire that's already, running. So that way, when these two fires meet, that's the end of the road for that fire. It has nowhere else to run. I hope that I explain.
Yeah.
No,
well, that's a good mental image for people to have, because again, a lot of people don't even know. When you go to school, they tell you you can become a firefighter, but they don't tell you what type of fires you can fight. Most firefighters, let's be honest, that are around in the city, they deal with more like health issues, overdoses. They'll be an assistant for the most part, kind of like how you said you were doing inside, an assistant doing the heavy labor and stuff like that. In the meantime, till the paramedics show up. So there are other professions. I'm sure a lot of other people that do hear this that are out more into the wilderness type, like Oregon and stuff like that, where there's a lot more heavy vegetation, where I'm sure they're more familiar with it, or that might be something they hear. But over here in the city, it's not something that they hear of. They think of a firefighter or someone that fights fires. They think, oh, you're fighting a building. You're in a little house around the city. But in reality, that's not the case. So
no, I mean, I didn't know nothing about wildland firefighter. You know, you hear firefighter, and you know, we have an image of what a firefighter is. Never that I ever think of a wildland firefighter. You know.
Then, did you ever? I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna try to see if maybe you've ever had an encounter with someone that you've worked with on the inside. Now you're working kind of with them either side by side or maybe in a different location.
No, I haven't ran into anyone? I have not had that type of encounter. Because like I said, when I was an institutional firefighter, I was only housed with like 7 people tops. And one of my boys, like me and him we're tight. I mean, I'm still tight with him. He's out now. He's doing good. He was gonna do the academy and all that. But I think a different opportunity came his way, and he picked that instead. And
right on.
Yeah, I would call him and be like, you know, like, hey man, like what's up, bro? Yeah, like Sonny, you gay. But that's my boy. So he picked a different path.
That's good though. The good thing is that you have those individuals that you hung out with that are doing good.
Oh yeah, no,
they're doing good. So that's the good thing about it.
No, yeah, I try to surround myself with positive people that are doing what they got to do. You know, like, cause I mean I still talk to a bunch of, you know, my old friends, my old homies, and all that. But you know, I'm too old to try to move the same. You know,
I feel it.
Like it's
different
a part
priorities
of me.
too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a part of me. I can't deny it. You know, it is. But I look at it like it is what made me now. You know, like I have nothing but respect and love for it because I have a lot of family members but it's like I just don't really partake in, you know.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that, and I respect that because again, I think that's one of the biggest. I guess the only way I could put it is like downfalls or setbacks for individuals once they come back out is they start hanging around with the same individuals. And some people see that and be like, hey, you know what? You're my boys, you're this and that. But at the same time, I do have that, like, I enjoy being out here now. You know what I mean? Like some people look at it and then some people be like, I don't care. I want to just impress the homies again or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you seen it. And you had a different motivation behind it. But again, you still said, I still respect them. I still do, you know, I respect everybody. I have no problems with anybody, which is good. Because it's a hard thing for a lot of people to kind of cope with, though.
Oh, no, yeah, man.
You know?
I definitely respect the lifestyle. I you know.
Yeah.
I just can't do it again, you know. Like, I put my family through too much for me to be out here giving a second chance and then to just throw it all away again for, you know, for something that I like I said, I given my all to it at one point. Now it's like, okay, now let me take care of me, you know? And I mean, a lot of my homies or friends, you know, will say, respect it, you know? Some maybe don't. I mean, but it's like, but I'm at that point like where it's like, man, I'm too old to care.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel it. No, that's good though. Again, like I said, that's a good thing because again, a lot of people fall victim to going back to certain things because they fall for like criticism or
no,
or
yeah,
certain
yeah,
things, you know what I mean? So it's good that you have that. And I wanted to switch it up and ask you because I know I asked you off camera, but I wanted to see if I could ask you again, which is, was there a difference? And I'm sure there is. In pay gaps when it comes to doing it inside? Were you even getting paid, or was it more like goes to like a credit system? Again, you don't have to tell me numbers, but you can for sure tell me, or you can even recommend it to someone like, hey, give it a shot, you know, like.
No, yeah. So I don't think I was getting paid as an institutional firefighter. I do not think I was getting paid.
So it was kind of more like a credit system
It was
in a way.
kind of, yeah. for me, it was more of a living situation.
I see.
Because like in the firehouse, like I had a fucking ping pong table.
Right on.
I had we had a TV room, a refrigerator, like it was, it was dope. It was dope, and so I think that was more for me right there.
I think I would do that shit too.
But
I don't want to.
no, yeah, but the pay, I mean, but I've had like other jobs that I had in there. Like I think I did like a construction program. It was called like IWO or something like that. And that one, like we were doing like literally construction work. Like we built a clinic from the ground up. Like the
sick.
foundation up. Like we had to dig. I think it was like 5 feet underground and then start building the building up. Like rebar, all that shit.
Damn.
And I think like my pay was, I want to say,
So at least in that one, you were kind of getting paid on those.
so that was probably like 97 cents an hour.
Ah, shit. I was like $90 sound crazy, but damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that was a legit like pay. Like that was like hell. Like a month, my check was like 130 something, and I was like balling. Like real shit. Like,
Right. I feel it.
Like,
yeah. Okay, so for the people that don't know, so 90 cents compared to other positions or professions would be a lot cheaper, I'm assuming.
In there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because before that construction program, I had I was working in the kitchen, and nobody wanted to do pots and pans because you would always end up being soaked. But for me, it was like, oh, that's one of the highest paid numbers. Oh yeah, I'll take that one.
Right.
And it was like, I want to say like 40 something cents an hour.
That's a big jump then. From 40 to 90, that's crazy.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But that I remember when I had that job, I was content with that because I think my check would be like $70, maybe $80 a month, and for me that was good enough for me not to have to, which I really never. I mean, I did, but not like how others like where they like ask for like money and all that. Like, but that would hold me to where I wouldn't have to ask my family for much, which I mean, not that they wouldn't want to, but I just,
Yeah.
like if I can help them somewhat,
Yeah. So that would essentially be what most people would understand or refer to as putting money on their books.
Right. Yeah, you put
Okay.
money on their books.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of people hear that from movies and all this other
No,
shit.
yeah.
So, yeah, so it's kind of relatable in that aspect. But so would it be like an account that you would have essentially that you had access
So yeah,
to?
it's your account. Like
Okay.
it's linked to your CDC number, and basically your CDC number is like your California ID in prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're jumping from 80, 70, 80-ish to like 100 and up would be that's good.
Oh, yeah, no,
So
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people might be hearing this and they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" But when you're in jail, like, you're making money in a way, where it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm working, I'm having
Yeah.
that sense of like, all right, cool, I'm responsible. And
No, yeah.
so it feels good.
And you know what? And a lot of people don't even do it for the job. Like, for example, like people who work in the kitchen, the majority of them would do it for the perks that come with the job. Like, you work in the kitchen, you can hook yourself up a nice fucking meal.
I see.
Take it back. You can make yourself a milkshake. You got peanut butter, milk, bananas, cookies, just
Yeah.
it's the perks that come with it.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume. And then also too, I'm sure there's
Ice, dude. I don't know why. Like, ice, bro. A lot of people used to do it for ice. You wanted a job in the kitchen because after you're done, after your shift is over, in that fucking hot ass summer,
Okay.
you get to come back home with a bag of ice or the big Folgers jars.
Yeah.
You could take 2 or 3. And it was funny because you would make like string, like rope kind of out of plastic, and you'll tie them around your jars, and you're just coming back with ice, and you're like, oh man,
So you got AC pretty much.
whatever you could do with ice is like,
That's crazy.
ice. And I used to trip out because I used to like be in my cell tripping out and just looking at ice and being like, I can't believe this shit is so fucking valuable to us. It's fucking ice.
That's
dude.
crazy.
It's water.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cold water. Like,
damn, that's but
the
see,
little fucking things
But
in
see,
life,
that's the
man.
thing that a lot of people don't understand. Those
Yeah.
little things that a lot of people out here take for granted, which is ice. And
Ice.
you inside there, you're like, bro, it's fucking ice. Like,
Ice. Yeah.
that's crazy. The perks of working in the kitchen.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, the kitchen. Oh, yeah, man. You could. I mean, another. I'm not. What you call it, glorifying it, but like, yeah, you could bring back fruit. You know, and with fruit, you can make fucking your Prunal, which is like prison wine. you
Oh,
know?
I heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard about that. That's like a very popular.
It used to
thing.
have an ugly name because I've heard it and I started laughing because I thought it was funny.
Uh-huh.
But they would call it toilet wine
Yeah, the toilet one.
because
yeah, yeah.
a lot of people cook it not in the toilet. You know, you obviously get brand new clean trash bags. You know, and you empty out the toilet, the water, whatever. You clean it as best as you can. It's still a fucking toilet.
It is a toilet.
It's still dirty, you know. But unfortunately, that's what you
the
do.
best you got.
Yeah, you work with what you got,
Yep, yep.
And yeah, so you put the bag inside of the toilet, and you're just there, fucking. You grab like like a soap dish.
Uh-huh.
So you would pop holes in it, right? You would pop holes in it, like you'll heat something up like a metal, and you're just popping a bunch of holes in it, right? You're popping a bunch of holes in it, and then you grab that motherfucker, and you grab this apple, and that's your fucking your what do you call it? A grater?
Oh, yeah, your grater.
And you're just fucking
That's crazy, bro.
like 100 fucking apples in this bag. You add your jelly, your sugar,
Yeah.
your rotten fruit, your kicker, which you call it is a kicker, and you just start warming that bad boy up.
That's crazy. Now, obviously, I know that's frowned upon in there, but if you come out here, that's
Hey,
like,
way better,
You-
way better.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I want to like be in there to try it, but I would for sure want to try it out here.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. You can.
I'm about to do an experiment out here, bro. You
Yeah.
about to see me doing that shit. Nah, I'm not gonna lie though. Like anytime I've heard that, I'm always like, yo, I want to try it just to kind of get that like,
Dude.
curiosity out of your system. But at the same time, again, I know it's frowned upon in there, but when you come out here, it's like you're using utensils in there that you technically don't have
Right.
to make something. And out here, when you see people make something with stuff that they don't have physically, that's fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That you guys have it down to us, or the people in there at least have it down to like a science when it comes down to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chemists, dude.
So
They're chemists
that's
in there.
dude. No, look, that's just Prunal, right? Prunal is just like
It's a better name. I'm not gonna lie, it's a better name.
way better.
That's a better
way
name.
better. Prunal is one thing, but then you got dudes that really got it down to a science, and they make white lightning. So what white lightning is Prunal, but you make a stinger. And what a stinger is, it's like a metal that's connected to a power outlet, and you dump it into the Prunal, and you build like some type of like with bags, you build like something that's gonna catch all the steam.
Oh yeah, the
It's moonshine.
Yeah, moonshine.
Prison
yeah.
moonshine. Wow. We call it white lightning.
Crazy.
And that shit, as I used to go to yard with water bottles like this, and it wasn't water. It was white lightning.
So you would see other people with that, and you'd be like, "Yo, you got water?" But oh, that's not water. And
If I'm out there with this bottle and I'm kicking it with 4 of my homies and I'm taking a sip of my water bottle, it's a fucking one-man water bottle.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving you a drink of my water bottle,
yeah, something's up.
yeah, if I see that from afar, I'm like, oh, those motherfuckers are drinking without me. I'm marching across that
I
yard.
feel that, I feel
you
that.
son
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
No, that lightning though, I swear, it'll put anybody on their ass. Even out here, like, yeah.
That's why I'm sure some of the correctional officers at some point when they confiscate it, all right, let's see what this is about. I'm 100%.
I'm not gonna say where at, but well, no, why not? Fucking it was in the
Just
prison.
say you've seen it. You've
no,
seen it,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember. No, I had just got busted. I was in reception, is what you call it. So like, you basically go from the county jail to a prison, and they're basically like trying to figure out, okay, where are we gonna put this guy at, or where is he gonna go, what prison, you know? And so I was there, and I remember it was my first time well, was it in prison? It was my first time in prison. So like prison's different from jail. You got the county jail, Los Angeles County Jail. That's jail. But then you have prison, which is there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I think there's more prisons in California than universities.
I heard something about that. The statistics.
I don't know why.
They were building more than they were building universities too, or something like that. Yeah.
That was a while back. I think they're trying to close them now, but
Yeah. Because.
But I remember it was I want to say it was the first time the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Upset though. Fuck.
We made some Prunal, and I remember we went to the yard and we came back, and then the homie was like, "Hey, fucking," or they took the Prunal, whatever. And and one of my boys, he went to the office and he told I don't know what he told, but he came back with our Prunal, and he was laughing, and we're like, "What happened?" And he was like, "I don't know, but fucking he asked me if it was good, and I told him yeah, and he said, bring me a Folgers jar and you could take the whole thing." So this dude wanted to drink our fucking Prunal
to try it.
And
that'd probably be me. I ain't gonna lie. That'd probably be me.
And you know what's the funny part? That he probably just chugged that whole fucking thing. Because if you chug just the whole Folgers jar, like the big ones, if you just chug it, the whole thing, which is hard, that's bigger than a fucking mug.
Fuck.
If you just chug that shit, oh, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Well, shortly after, right before the game started, because the guy that he took it from, I guess he had a little bit of pull. But shortly after, when the game started, he pulled us out, and we were like the only ones outside watching the football game. Because in reception, you don't have TVs yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
That's always cool.
So yeah, they drink that shit. Oh, they
get creative in there, man. I've seen a lot of the shows and shit, and I'm just like, bro, the fucking creativeness you have to have, not only to hide, to make, to do all kinds of stuff, to look at something and be like, oh, that's gonna make this, and you're like, what are you talking about? And you see it into like fruition, how they make it and everything. You're like, bro,
very crafty
people.
Very crafty.
That's the thing that like, for example, my uncle, right? He would tell me, he's like, yeah, man, you'd be surprised. He's like, you'd be surprised when you see someone you would not think they're that fucking creative. But he's like, if you're in there because you got creative, but you got caught. You know? He's like, but you're creative now in there. Yeah. Now you're just doing your own shit.
No, yeah. You'll see some people like, you'll see lots of like skills, in there. Like people who can tattoo, I believe it or not, I've had friends that got into crocheting in there, like knitting, I guess you call it, and they were making like legit badass beanies, like whatever you want. Like they'll make you a badass blue beanie, like with nice designs where it says Dodgers on it or whatever your team is. Yeah, no, like really creative. Like people just, you have nothing. Time is like.
Yup. Some of the most creative individuals come out or are in jail.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I've seen some of the tattoos that they do in prison and stuff like that, and even some of the artwork that my uncle has sent me like through the mail. Like it'll literally be like a cloth.
Yeah,
like a cloth, and it'll be literally detailed, not a squiggle. No, it's straight, like perfectly designed and everything.
And a lot of that's not. I guess it's a cloth, but. Like I had a cellmate, one of my boys and shit. He used to cut like big ass sheets and just cut a bunch of squares and just sew them to where it looks like a cloth, like a bandana. And he was really dope, really dope. He did most of my artwork, most of my tattoos. He was really dope. And
you got some in there.
Oh, I got all my tattoos in there. What? Yeah, I got all my tattoos in there.
Okay.
And he was dope, dude, like really bad. He would have like certain teams, and he'll just have those like and this was smart. To me, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, they did like this big ass search one day, right? And
when you say search, what does that mean?
So when I say search is basically like a bunch of correctional officers.
Oh, they're going through.
They come in by a large number, and they're going through every cell one by one.
They're looking for the contraband or
whatever.
something.
Yeah, whatever is the
okay.
reason that they're coming, they come like by a large number, and they're slowly moving their way through every cell, and they'll pull out like a bunch of people and sit them outside, handcuffed with their hands behind their back,
Okay.
and you're literally just in your boxers. If you're lucky, they'll let you come out with a t-shirt because it'll get cold, you know. So they'll do all that, and I remember when they finally got to us, you know, we came out, we sat down, and we were out there for like 5 minutes, I think. They hadn't even gotten into our cell yet. They just pulled everyone out, you know, and they're just moving through all the cells. My boy was, he was like, fuck, man. He's like, he was just kind of like, he kept looking, and I was just like, just looking at him, kind of like, you know, fuck it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, and then sure enough, he turns and he looks at me and he goes, watch, we're gonna go back in our cell right now. And I was like, I didn't think nothing of it, but then he called one of the correction officers. He was an older cat, like a dude of respect, you know, like the correction officer. He was an older cat, Hispanic. He calls him, right, and he walks over there, and he goes and he tells him, and I'm sitting next to him because we're cellies, and he tells him, he calls him by his last name, whatever, and he's like, hey man, he goes, I have a bad shoulder, I can't be out here for long. He's like, do me a favor, go search my cell. In this cabinet, I got a badass fucking Raiders bandana drawing. It's yours, but just get me out of these fucking handcuffs as quick as you can. That correction officer, quick, grabbed the fucking rookie, took him, went in there. I swear, they just moved our shit from one side to the other. And then he came back out and called our cell number, and we just walked back over there.
Damn, so he knew correction officer.
Yeah,
was
well, he knew his team. He was.
That's crazy.
You
Talking
know,
about good. That's smart.
And I was like, yeah, we got into our cell, and I was just still like, kind of like, what the fuck? And then when they took my handcuffs off and they closed the door and they walked away, I was like, that was fucking genius, dog.
Yeah.
Like, that just got us out of all kinds of bullshit. Yeah, no.
That's smart. You see? People in there, so they be thinking.
Yeah.
They be plotting, bro.
No,
They be
yeah.
like, oh, I already know. They're like, That's crazy, though. When you think about shit like that, that's dope. But also, too, that's like, man, the patience you have to draw and to do all that stuff. It's like, obviously, I know you have time. Come on, let's be real. People in there have time. But there's people that don't even get to that point where they're creative and they do that. They just... How can I explain it? My uncle would tell me that there's people in there, they're so negative about it, obviously, because you're in there, but they don't want to look on the outlook of, like, drawing, escaping, and all that other stuff, too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think, like, I don't know what was it for me, but because I was able to draw, I was able to write, which, I mean, I still can, but I just, like, kind of lost, I don't know if it was the passion for it or like you said, I didn't have really the patience for it. Like, because one thing I would remember, like, I'll be drawing and I'll be like so focused on one spot to where I'm like, oh, hell yeah, this is looking real nice. And then I'll zoom out and be like, what the fuck? That was just one eye? Like, I still got the whole shit to go.
You're reminding me of that fucking picture that went viral where it's like the first half of the horse is majestic and then the rest of it is just stick figure.
Dude. Yeah. And I was like, and I would just like lose patience for it.
You'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
No.
And and then, you know, I started just other shit started to draw my attention to where, you know, I just stopped it, which I regret it now because, I mean, like, tattoo artists are banking, you know, like,
yeah,
you make money.
The way that I would equivalent to them, and I know this is a horrible comparison, but the best way that people can understand is like tattoo artists are like barbers. Although, yeah, there's some that are out there that can do it. Not everyone can actually give you like that, like top. But a lot of the guys that do really good work, man, they fucking making crazy money, man.
Yeah, I got
crazy.
a few.
They're making more than motherfuckers out here with real degrees and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I got
not to downgrade, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, they got degrees out here, but
yeah, I like all my little nephews and like I got a few nephews that like want to cut hair and stuff like that, and I tell them like, man, do that, do because look, tattoo artists, yeah, they cash out like on a large sum quick, right? But eventually, your client's gonna run out of space.
True.
Fucking, you're a barber. As long as you're fucking growing hair, I'll see you every fucking week.
That's facts.
People are fucking loyal, more loyal to their barbers than what they are to their girls. Not me, but
That's right. Good save. Good
but
save.
people are. People are.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
like,
what's crazy is you said that because I get my haircut every week.
me too.
Every fucking week, bro.
fucking
my
too.
barber be cashing out $50 from me every week. I'm just looking at him like, damn, bro, fuck. I spend more time with you than my girl.
I mean, I don't pay 50. I pay 20. I go to a little Chinese spot, dog, and Kim.
Shout out to Kim.
Kim takes care of me.
That's
She
right.
went on a vacation not too long ago, and I was like,
Oh, it's a girl?
yeah.
Oh, shit. All right,
I was
for
like,
sure.
when is she gonna come back, man? Like, I was acting like, I don't know. I was.
She was looking at you like, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
You
well.
clean it up. Nah, but it's crazy though. You're right. Barbers. I think there was a report that had came out and it had said something along the lines that like barbers are like that new wave that's coming in where like they call it a gold rush because it's like they're making so much money, it's going up in price.
Yeah.
And it's just that thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but on that note, I just wanted to say thank you for coming.
Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
appreciate it. I mean, you're more than welcome to come back. I know we kind of went into a little bit of everything. We didn't completely just go into the nitty gritty of just one topic, which is good. You know, it's good for the listener. It's good for everyone that want to get to know you and get an understanding of you. But yeah, again, you're more than welcome to come back. We can get more into details on whatever you want, or we could even talk about anything sports, whatever pops up. I welcome it. And again, thank you. Before we log off, guys, I just want to say one thing. If you haven't already, if you've gotten this far, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you want, if it's okay with you, if I can link your social media down, if people want to reach out to you or have questions or whatever, his information will be down below. So you guys can go ahead and give him a follow. And ask him questions, and if he's open to it, he'll respond back to you. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, especially if you watched it all the way this far. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.